Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video on the vertical line test. So by the end of this video, I want you to be able to use the vertical line test to determine whether or not a graph is a function, and if it's a function, whether or not it's continuous. So we're going to look at the vertical line test for each of these four graphs here. So let's look at the first one. So when I'm talking about a vertical line, I mean perfectly vertical. If I draw a perfectly vertical line anywhere through this graph, it hits the graph only once. It never hits it twice. So that means it is a function. So for this second graph here, so if I draw a vertical line through it, it's possible that I hit the graph twice. I've hit it here and here, and then I've hit it here and here. So because it's possible to draw a vertical line that hits the graph more than once, this is not a function. We just refer to it as a relation. So something like a circle is not a function. So let's look at the third graph here. The same is true as the first one. If I draw a vertical line here, it only hits the graph once. If I draw a vertical line here, it doesn't hit the graph at all. And if I draw one, say here, it only hits it once. Anywhere I draw a vertical line, it will never hit the graph more than once, so this is a function. That's what the vertical line test means. And the same is true for that last graph here. It is not possible that I could draw a perfectly vertical line that would hit this more than once. Now, remember, this point here is not included in the function. So this green line only hits the function once down here. It doesn't hit it here because we don't include that point. So this definition is consistent with the one we learned previously. Remember, we said it was a function if there was never a case where an element from the domain was mapped to more than one element in the range. So what the vertical line test is doing, it's saying is if I take a given x value, is there more than one y value? So here, if I take this x value, there's 2 y values associated. So this x value is mapped to 2 different y values. That's why this is not a function. But it doesn't happen in any of the others. There's no situation here where I take a given x value and there's more than one y value. That's what the vertical line test is showing. So let's look at the 3 functions here and determine whether or not they're continuous. So this first graph here is continuous. There are no gaps or jumps in the graph, in the blue curve there. In other words, all of these vertical lines actually do hit the graph, so it is continuous. But if I look, however, at this graph here, it is possible to draw a vertical line that doesn't hit the graph at all. This line here, the y-axis. In other words, this one has an asymptote. So it is not continuous. So this graph is discontinuous at x equals 0 because there's no y value associated with x equals 0. So this third graph here is also discontinuous. It's not possible to draw a vertical line that doesn't hit the graph. If you draw a vertical line, it will always hit the graph somewhere. But the second part says there must be no jumps. Here there's a jump from here to here. So this function is discontinuous at x equals 2. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.